think we're losing you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy froze.
A little glitchy.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yes.
Okay. And I think you do see some carryover from like the CEO position and a little bit from Dave too, because he wears many hats back there. And I think Austin does a great job on the affiliate side. But do you have someone that's going to come in and, all right, look at this with a fresh set of eyes and be able to translate what is a necessity in keeping some of that core aspects of CrossFit intact and finding a way to make it palatable and marketable on a much larger scale? We don't know. The guy that they hired, obviously there was a lot of back and forth about his hiring, Jay DeCoons, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe he's the right guy, maybe he's not. I mean, what was highly publicized was some quotes from him where that didn't look great. The optics weren't great, but he could still prove to be useful in a big way. And I've heard some good feedback from some people about him. Yeah. Talking with affiliate owners and people that have been able to be around him firsthand. But again, it doesn't help when it seems like every month, 2 months, you hear of someone, whether it's a VP or a marketing person or someone on the media side that's gone now, and it's either not publicized or it's not really discussed much, and you're like, all right, well, who's the next in line? And it's like crickets.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the stability could
Agreed.
provide some improvement.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, there are things you can look at.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, there has been stability there. There's stability at these spots, but it's at, like you were saying, Tommy, some of these bigger positions that have their hands in very important parts of this business where there needs to be some stability. There needs to be some consistency.
And I think some of that consistency comes in CrossFit's messaging of where they're going. Like in terms of like real actionable, this is where we're going and we're going to show you. I mean, you talk to half of the, I mean, this is an exaggeration, maybe a little bit, but you talk to a good portion of the community. There's a lot of people that think that it's going to be sold in another year or two.
That's definitely a possibility.
And if you think about it, like if people feel like that like cloud is hanging over you, does it allow them to see anything that is being provided? I know for a fact that some of the resources that have been provided to affiliates is outstanding.
Oh, there's no question about that. When you look at the stuff that's available for especially new affiliate owners and the affiliate playbook and all that stuff that exists now that didn't exist 5-6 years ago. And how many, I know affiliate owners, longtime affiliate owners who have said to me, man, I wish this stuff was around when I started. I would have avoided making so many mistakes and would be light years ahead of where I am now because I had to, unscrew all the stuff that I messed up. So
yeah, and part of the process, like you could argue that part of that small business process is making those mistakes, sure. but also part of it too is like mentorship and tapping into the knowledge base just to make the general baseline affiliate more successful. I've been in some of those same conversations with you with affiliate owners being like, the stuff that they're providing is awesome, but I don't know how many people know it's actually available. Right?
That's a really good point.
Which is great, or which isn't great. Sorry. So so part of it is like you're providing these tools. Now get it into the hands of the people that need it most.
All right. Lauren, you have anything to add to that, or should we move on to the next one?
No, let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
I think I was just looking at some articles I think it's the next topic.
Ooh.
Okay. Number 5. Are both Mal O'Brien and Haley Adams going to compete?
I know one of them is.
Tommy, go ahead. I think you have some insight.
I know one of them is. I know Haley's for sure going to compete. She said so at Wodapalooza.
Yep.
I was there for an interview at the Whoop booth activation alongside the Buttery Bros, and I believe Marston, the interview maverick that he is, asked straight up, and she said, "Yep, plan on competing." So that's one. I don't know about Mal though.
And I think there's an assumption that Mal is going to compete just because she was like, I'm going to take a year off. But she's so young that she could take 3 years off and still be in the prime of her athletic career. But that has not been, we haven't had an announcement. I hope she does from a selfish fan standpoint. I hope she does because now you start talking about, just all the depth, and then you add her in there. And I think given what we've seen from her in the past, I think it's a matter of if not when. She will stand on the top of the podium at some point if she decides to come back. I don't think there's people out there who don't think that she has the potential to do it. If not when for Mal O'Brien.
Yeah, and I think, it's very obvious she's still training. She still posts training videos. It looks like from the way that she has, worked with her marketing and branding team, she's done a lot of rebranding. It talks a lot about balance. You see a lot of more insight to her personal life now, spending time with her boyfriend, spending time in the kitchen. It looks like she loves baking, and maybe she's worked a little bit with Sammy on that.
Yeah.
Getting the two of them in the kitchen to do a cooking segment would actually be really cool, and I think we should organize that. But yeah, and truthfully, I don't know if Mel knows if she wants to compete yet. I think that she's from my perspective, and again, we just get a small glimpse from looking at social media, but it looks like she's just kind of taking every day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And if she competes, great, but I just hope that it's because it comes from her heart and her passion.
Absolutely.
And not from the pressure of all of us, the fans, sponsors, things like that. And I think she has the right people in her corner to help her in the decision-making process. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. As a sports fan, we would love to see her and Haley back this season. It makes the field more exciting. It adds to
for sure, but
the depth.
Yeah, and I would add a qualifier to that. I think everyone wants to see a healthy and happy Haley and Mal, because I think
100%.
when they feel whole as a human and fulfilled and whatever they decide to put their name to, regardless of outcome, I think that's when the best best result ultimately comes out. But yeah, so
I think the way I would put it, the sports fan in me wants to see them out there. The Mal O'Brien fan in me wants to see her do what's best for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then come back when she's
from the human element.
right.
Yeah.
To come back to.
And the thing is, I don't want to see either of them come back if it's going to be too early for them, or if it's going to lead to like a future that isn't right for them.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. And this is one that we've talked about. We talked a little bit about this, but number 4 is what kind of coverage or attention will the age group and adaptive championships get? And this is something that we have been asking ever since that announcement was made that they're going to split those off, which I still think was the right call. But now it's okay. Well, what is attention are they going to get? Is there going to be a live stream? Is there going to be media coverage from CrossFit standpoint that they help support these events? What is that going to look like, and how is it going to be executed? And I don't know if anyone has any answers to that right now.
Well, we had kind of an early glimpse when both Wheelwad and Legends had events in this offseason after this split was announced.
I was really surprised by that, man. I thought that would be a great opportunity for CrossFit to say, hey, look, we're not our official championships yet, but you are our partners, and we need to show everybody that we're going to support you even through these current iterations of your championships to calm the waters a little bit. And there was I don't think there was anything.
I think any and all, and again, I do not know, but I think that any and all media coverage, whether there's a live stream, whether there's highlights, is going to fall on the event. I do.
I get that feeling, and that's why
the direction it looks like it's being pointed into. I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't these come? And maybe the conversations are already happening. But if I was CrossFit and I wanted to make the competitions feel like they were set up for success, why wouldn't I at least already communicate, hey, we are going to make sure that we have somebody from CrossFit out there to show a highlight package. Even if there's not a live stream, we get it. The three of us know what an undertaking that is and what a price tag for that looks like. at least guaranteeing right off the top that we are going to have some kind of shooter, reporter, something on site getting content.
Well, this is why I was the advocate for, I mean, I still am, for these events going before the games. Because at the very least then, if you don't have a live stream or you're not doing anything on site at the time, what you can do is you can bank some of those highlights and some of those stories at the Adaptive and the Age Group Championships. You can create human